Lucas. Wait, where's my... You know, if someone really loved me, they'd bring me a new beer. Wow.
I know, I went there. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Jeff. That wasn't at all difficult to follow. First of all, everyone, Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
We were going to do that at the federal courthouse, and then Lloyd George introduced, and I thought it might not be appropriate to get up and say Hail Hydra. Not that Lloyd George would have, well, maybe he would have known exactly what we were speaking about. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'll make this as painless as possible.
Mike, higher. Which is contrary to your
like that.
Everyday life.
Okay, good. Good. I just got a tip from our fabulous recording engineer. Thank you. Cheers to that. This is entitled Walking Away from Explosions in Slow Motion. It's all you can do. The world is always behind you, the catastrophe of time, the exchange of air and fire, the wave of force, raising the hair on the back of your neck, a rivulet of sweat unseen by all the eyes on your unseen gaze, the blank face that says, I'm walking away, I'm getting away with something. All those opportunities to find your body framed by boiling galaxies of flame, untouched by shrapnel, not above it all, but out in front of it, like the future itself, walking away, fucking badass. Fuck no, you don't look back. You can't look back. A cinder in your eye might ruin the shot. A world might suddenly taste of salt.
And I brought you a beer.
This is called Lonely Starbucks Lovers. To the sidewalk, all snowflakes look alike. Accumulation, the hourglass sighs. The blizzard is the life. We trudge flat white to enjoy a flat white. Breath precedes us, the breath of white. The line for the bathroom, indistinguishable from the line for life. Someone is writing down the wrong name on an empty cup. An empty mitten picks up a tiny, trusting hand. A girl sings Lonely Starbucks Lovers to an old man who declaims Taylor Swift doesn't exist. She's a myth. It's all a myth, everywhere you look. Milk foams, apocalyptic whoosh. White on green, time drifts, covers us. We kiss. This is called, This is called extended play. It's a sonnet form I invented, in which you take the song titles off an album that you enjoy, and each word in the song titles becomes the last word of a line in the sonnet. And those of you who have been paying attention will guess what album this is I'm referring to. The thing about time is that it's chronic. Better get out of sundown before town, before the dead light devours those wolves, the hours that hunt you higher, lower than high and low can know. The gardening never ends, the pruning, the where it's at, that's clipped from nowhere, and then it's night again, stars unseen against the carnival of light bleed. What are you really made of, if not this stupid brick? Out of sorts, under the covers, the bed a black box for recording dreams, trains of thought, the cars full of darkness. You could live a million. You won't. Time is stride, you a stumble. This is called Dope and Baller. This is how it is to suddenly feel old, hands removing the rings from your fingers before your corpse is cold. It began around the time that Tower Records closed, and now it's reached escape velocity. It's a quotidian atrocity, worse than the grinding gears of penury, this being rooted in the 20th century. I never smoked weed, but only because I never smoked at all. A vow made when small, that's all I carry into the oblivious now, present and absent as a quantum mechanic. Dreams, they compartmentalize my life. History is made to seem unfair, and so it is. In an interview, a woman says dope and baller in the same sentence, and together they sound like an august firm, a growing commercial concern in which one can do a form of penance, an awesomely rad and fab and grotty penance, the groovy bomb at the tip of your tongue exploding into what? 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 I repent nothing. I confess less. Clueless is as clueless does. Also silence.
Hail Hydra!
And the woman in whose interview used dope and baller in the same sentence? Alana Glazer, America's sweetheart. This poem is entitled, Are Your Headaches Just a Dead Twin Inside Your Brain?
If that poem just goes yes, and then you move on to the next poem, brill.
Unfortunately for you, it doesn't. All those times saying it's not a tumor in an Austrian accent, while something drove a nail into the wall behind your eyes shut tight. All those times in a darkened room, listening to the throb and sob of that little voice. Hair, bone, teeth, curls, a weak chin, braces. The day came when you actually needed a hole in your head, and they found her, Tiny Teratoma, which sounds like a girl you knew in high school. Hi, I'm Tara, Teratoma. Are you signing up for Key Club? I just know we're going to be besties. But nobody is best friends forever, not even those you consumed in the womb. That little voice always whispering, Wonder Twin powers activate. Form of, a question unasked. Shape of, an absence. Hair, bone, teeth. At least there wasn't an eye, you shudder and sigh, while somewhere deep in the cells there's a lid twitching in endless sleep, helplessly dreaming the dream, tapping it out like a sailor trapped in a submarine. Hair, bone, teeth. Hair, bone, teeth. Hair, bone, teeth. This next poem is by request for Rosalie. It's entitled, Even the Boss Monsters of the Dark Enlightenment Are Weak Bitches. Truth be told, she said, this is my first rodeo. And then she broke apart into pieces of honeycomb, which caught the last light as they fell across your path, and you could taste each five-fold sweetness, even though you'd cut out your own tongue in anticipation of this moment. You carry it. You carry it on your back the way a hermit crab crawls into a shell called the world and drags it across a beach where every grain of sand is counted and forgotten. Every sliver you ever dug out of a finger was a piece of the true cross. Every stone passed was an infinity gem, another wish flushed away. All you ever paid attention to was the pain. How many died and will die and cannot die to put that sweetness in your mouth, sticking to the roof of your palate above the empty room of your voice? How many blind fish have you caught in your dark net? How will you ever know if it was worth it, these crimes you've committed in the name of freedom? Freedom is a hive where every drone knows his name and nothing else. In the dark, the sweetness waits. It's rotten. It's perfect. It's still the word you will never say. This is called Found Poem Lost. All women have been corrupted by the bikini, saith the internet. But the bikini was corrupted first by a hydrogen bomb called Castle Bravo. Applause. I often think of the expression on John Calvin's face when he died and fell toward the light and then discovered for himself what predestination truly is. A human being is an animal that always thinks it's both much better and much worse than it really is. You might describe this as humanity's original sin. There are no correct interpretations, only those that are plausible and persuasive, or implausible, unpersuasive, or, alas, implausible and entirely persuasive. Of course, if God is everywhere, then God is nowhere as well. If everything's a swimming costume, nothing goes naked. Sweet corruption, give me bikini body before I die. Apologia for Pat Benatar. You say love is a battlefield and have the choreography to prove it, but it isn't. Blasted trees, gouged earth, people who were once other than things, a silence that's a type of blasphemy, where death is depthless, a field of vision from which all dimensions save one have been removed, a flattening and then a fattening, Slaughter's self-fulfilling prophecy. That's a battlefield. But have it your way. 1 foot on the parapet, gun in hand, waiting for the signal to go over the top. It's okay. Most soldiers don't know what they're fighting for until it's too late. This is called, we'll be back in just a moment, but Faust. What am I supposed to do with a mad scientist for an hour? Asks the prisoner of the lost universe, and what can I say? At this time of day, it's always civilization versus the atom. I say, your brain is too feeble to understand what I have accomplished in the realm of science. You're a dreamer, Doc, says the world, and money is bad for dreamers. But it's mine, I whisper, mine by right of discovery. No one may see it and live. No one does. Frankenstein might meet the space monster, but he doesn't invite him in. Jesse James might meet Frankenstein's daughter, but it's only a coffee date. Mad is one who has solved the secret of life to be considered mad. Well, I tampered in God's domain, and you can't play God, but somebody has to. That always gets a big laugh. Maniacal, you might say. My darling, I failed. I meddled in things man must leave alone, also in things God must leave alone. You dare to call me mad. I should be so lucky, says the brain that would not die. This is called Will Be the Death of Me. Consider this poem the drunk dial from the ex you never had. Often when I'm home alone, only the thought of how my dead body might be found keeps me from loving you. I'm reading a book in bed entitled Today in Wishful Thinking. I read a red page and I paint it blank. No, we will never think of each other at the same time. We will never think of anything not to say. We will never shut up about the silence we obey. It's okay. You can safely ignore this text. Claim that you didn't see it until later. It's later. It's too late. The condolences. Sometimes we speak to make the bears dance. Sometimes we sing a lullaby to lull them into their long, long sleep, the longest sleep, the winter where all your loved ones are kept close, even though you can only see them in your dreams. So sorry, so very sorry for your loss. So sorry to hear this, our thoughts and prayers and thoughts. So sorry, hang in there, sorry, very sad and sorry news. If you need any one thing, ear, and so sorry to hear, sorry, very sad and sorry to see, to hear, in our hearts, keeping you there. So very sorry, your loss, so sorry, so very sorry. So sorry, sorry. Shh, sleep now, big bear, little bear. The photo that my girlfriend took of one of her writing students hugging a horse and then emailed to me, it wrecks me. It ruins me. Something in me shatters and escapes into the air, a broken ampule filled with the opposite of poison. Her eyes closed, her hand on his nose, the nostril bigger than her thumb, her face bulked and comforted by her huge white helmet, the helmet tipped back a little, pressed against the horse's face, blue halter framing the slope of brown and white, the steel ring gleaming in the light, and her lips against the muzzle in not quite a kiss, chin out, almost in defiance, nuzzling the hot breath of the evidence, the proof of life as other, truly other. Eyes closed, the horse's eyes high and away outside the frame, her serene little face. The wordless, worthless prayer, given worth because wordless, because it is and isn't prayer. Something in me hopes she never opens her eyes, her hand never falls away from the snort and sigh of the world as it breathes, just breathes, both ready and at rest. Is this kitsch? I don't care. Kitsch is what one responds to helplessly, how the world catches us unaware, how we are released. All right. Whose idea was it in 1995 to do this? Which one of us thought, hey, it's Christmas, let's do a reading? Do you remember whose idea it was?
Was it you, a Jehovah's Witness and an atheist?
Agnostic.
Oh, that's my maths.
Actually, Wallace Stevens is my religion, but, that's kind of harder to say. Whose idea was it? Do you remember?
Carter wrote it down in some book he burned.
Typical.
It was me, but it wasn't my idea.
Which one of us came up with the idea? Does it matter now?
Julie.
It was Julie. Oh, it was Julie.
Because I was booking shows at Enigma at the time, and she suggested that three of us do a reading, because we were her favorites.
Well, thank you, Julie.
Was the first show at Enigma?
Yeah, it was.
I have no recollection of anything.
1995, Enigma. 1996, Jazz. 1997, The Arts Factory. 1998, Double Down, which David didn't make because he was stuck in trial, and I proposed to my now ex-wife during the reading.
And then you said, follow that.
And then I said, follow that. Yeah, sorry. 1999, Clark County Library. 2002, Cafe Roma, when Jeff went off. 2009, The Griffin. 2011, The Cosmopolitan. 2013, Inspire Theater. What am I doing at night? Sleeping? No, I'm thinking.
Oh.
What?
Risa's house.
We never did anything at Risa's
Yeah,
house.
we did. Yeah, we did.
When?
I did the Letterman jacket thing there for the first time. It was you, me, and Moss and Cindy Reed.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
There was about a half dozen people there.
Yeah, that's a B-side. Don't worry.
How was I not?
What about the federal courthouse?
Well, I'm glad. I surely remember that. It was this afternoon. What I was trying to get at is that I'm deeply grateful that I've had 20 years of love and friendship from David Figler and Jeff Carter, and I'm gonna end off, since they read Vegas stuff because we're in Vegas. I'm gonna end off with a Vegas poem, which I haven't read aloud, so we'll see how this goes. None of this would have been possible if I hadn't come back to the city from San Francisco in 1993 with nothing but the clothes I was wearing. And this is called A Sort of Homecoming. It's a crown of sonnets for those of you playing at home. A joke came out of a cloud of clove smoke, heaven or Las Vegas. We always said Vegas, of course, although we knew better. Here, no one need try to get to the bar. There was always another bar beyond the next bank of slots. Always another 99-cent breakfast beyond the clocks. It was 1993, and we were free to ponder how synth pop didn't require a synthesizer. It was a state of mind, a rocket set to drift and fire, fire and drift. Otherworldly might not mean what you think. It might be the dream you were born to leave. It might be the dream you were born to leave, but that didn't imply you were awake. Today, when I see a sheet of tinfoil, I think of the windows, and those who slept all day, rising into the graveyard shift. This just in, Bela Lugosi's still dead. I listened to that single on cassette, driving with a dead girl to a party, though she wasn't truly dead, not yet. I was wearing my strangest costume yet, the prodigal. I'd spent all summer in the British Bulldog's poker-lit dark with a pint of Peter Gabriel's Blood of Eden. I remembered everything. Of Eden, I remembered everything. The rattle of the cable car, the hills, city lights, and Kathy's embittered voice reminded me that this was not, in fact, a garden, unless it was Gethsemane. And that's perhaps too melodramatic. Suffice to say, I was dust, not golden. I'd gotten myself back to the desert, like all the good billion-year-old carbon copies of failure. It is indeed hard to tell when all your love's in vain or insane. All my vinyl, my books, my clothes, even my name, once short, now long, behind me now. In front of me, the pitiless sun. Now in front of me, the pitiless sun and the nth degrees of the rest of my days, 110 in the absent shade. How could they have built this city without arcades? Wondering if I was reborn or just cleverly undead. 25 years old, the sands not yet shifted, the dunes assumed doomed, implosion upon implosion. There was still time, and there was still time, the iris wide and full of light. I was home, ? I was home, full stop. From the land beyond, beyond, from the sea past hope and fear, I bid the genie appear and tell me, how should I appear? Appear. Tell me, yes, how should I appear where every window is a mirror? So I looked into eyes instead and saw what there was and wasn't to be seen. To be seen suddenly became all of me. I inserted myself into the scene, or if you prefer, the scene. I made some noise. I played the fool, the fop, the poet, the professor, who had never received a degree, 25 going on 15. I chased girls. I caught a glimpse or two, or three. I tried, as Al, the inland sailor, advised, to redeem the time, not knowing that time cannot be redeemed, only spent. That time cannot be redeemed, only spent, well, that's Vegas. I lost $300. Yeah, but did you have a good time? Vegas, the only place where you can have a good time without actually enjoying yourself. My favorite joke. If life is a joke, shouldn't it at least be a funny one? When I was young, I knew the answer to this. I'll never come home the way I did then. Never again know so little or so much. The graveyard shift never ends, but it does shift from necropolis to neon and back again, where everyone lies still, waiting to hear a coin that never drops. Waiting to hear a coin that never drops. Instead, the slots print out a script to be redeemed at the cage marked change. Turn and face the mundane. I left, I saw, I came, I left. I changed. Home is the place where, when you die, they let you live long enough to say goodbye. To forgive something if not yourself. The place where nothing ever happens, so anything can. The place that's the next best thing to leaving. Remember? No? That's okay. It's always 1993 somewhere. A homecoming never begins or ends. Your city lies in dust, my friend. But you don't. A joke out of a cloud of clove smoke. Thanks.
And thus concludes the last three wise guys ever.
Oh, wait.
Because we'll never be in a room together again, nor will we ever read a poem.
Wait, I just wanted to say, on behalf of the band and myself, I hope we pass the audition.
Gregory has books for sale.
Not anymore.
You got Revolver?
The writer's block took them all. Drew took them all to sell at the festival tomorrow.
So if you find yourself at the Writer's Block tomorrow during the Vegas Valley Book Festival, make sure to buy one of Gregory's books so he gets $2.
And go out there and buy records. Lots and lots and lots.
Yeah, we really want to thank Ronald Corso and everyone
Ronald
here at
Corso, woo!
the record shop. It's an awesome edition. We were all as skeptical as anything, but he proved everyone wrong, and I love when that happens. I love when I get proved wrong, especially when it comes to downtown. So we absolutely love this place, and we love the fact that they opened up their doors for all of us to be able to celebrate one last time stories of woe and misery, of memoir and future tense.
Until the next last time.
Yeah, we're all fucking Don Henley and we're all selling out. So Hell Freeze is over. We'll see you then. And Gregory, last word. Greg, last word.
So, I guess this is the end. Or is it only the No, it's the end.